Welcome to Conscious Winery, a non-profit SDG investment engine structured under Future Capital. Conscious Winery believes, as Susan Davis so cleverly stated, if you want to change the world, you need to throw a better party. Thus, Conscious Wine was born to be an SDG solution supporter with 100% of its proceeds. As Future Capital was created by Lawrence Ford to identify and promote the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, it was a natural shift to discover that a nonprofit winery can not only support SDG conferences, dinner gatherings, and SDG-friendly corporate functions, but to also create an endowment by investing all winery earnings into SDG solutions. Conscious Winery will operate by selling brought to you by sponsorships on each of its distributed bottles of wine. And thus, all profits from the winery's reasonably priced varietals will then be used to finance SDG solutions to help end poverty, reverse climate change, and empower problem solvers. All without being a burden because buyers are receiving something they want and enjoy. Conscious Winery's go-to-market strategy is simple. With sponsorship, bottle wine that brands its sponsors in the SDG space, and with inventory, sell such SDG-themed wine to event planners and corporate hosts for convened SDG group dinners and corporate holiday parties, sales that will be anchored by Future Capital events. Conscious Winery was conceived in a discussion between Conscious Capital's strategy officer Chris Fury and the Black Bottle vintner Mark Russo, when Chris identified that Rescue Dog Wine was groundbreaking in its 50% donation of all profits to good works, specifically dog shelters. Chris then imagined, what if Russo joined Conscious Capital to make a nonprofit winery that used 100% of its earnings to support much more impactful good works, an idea that was immediately embraced by Lawrence Ford when he recommended the winery's focus on SDGs through Future Capital. Therefore, Conscious Winery's business model was born, a financial model that solicits sponsors for SDG-themed wine sales that not only cover expenses, but also invests in SDG solutions, and an operation model that fulfills the financial model with sourced, bottled, and labeled wine with brought to you by sponsorship, but also then packages such wine for sale to SDG events and SDG-friendly corporate functions. Conscious Winery's leadership includes the Black Bottle vintner and American Institute of Wine and Food chair Mark Russo, Conscious Capital and Future Capital founder Lawrence Ford, and Conscious Capital's strategy officer Chris Fury, who co-founded Conscious Alternative Asset Management with Lawrence. All are veteran good works entrepreneurs. We appreciate your interest in Conscious Winery and invite your participation as a sponsor of SDG-themed wine, or as a client who seeks to purchase wine for their events that support SDGs.